Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up!
On the agenda today with Serious About Rugby League, we are talking about, is the disciplinary panel going soft? What do you think, Ben?
Well, I think it's the referees on the pitch and the disciplinary panel. I think for some strange reason this season have become really lenient. I'm not really sure why. I think the referees on the pitch have always been a little bit like that. There's been a few referees who are a bit probably afraid to dish out maximum punishment, and I'm not advocating, I don't want players sent off in every game, but I think there's been a lot of instances recently whereby you're looking at, well, obviously we get the benefits of the replays, but you look at something and even in normal time you're thinking, ooh, if anything can be a red card, then that's it. And then it just gets put on report or gets sent to the sin bin, and I'm thinking, well, if that's not a red card, then what is? Yeah, so obviously we're like the Braden Williame incident this week with the shoulder charge to the head of Jake Connor. Didn't look great. There was a video ref at that game and he wasn't shown a red card, but then we're thinking, well, he's going to obviously get reviewed by the match review panel and they're going to dish out a big punishment. We're thinking, what, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 matches? 1 match ban? I mean, it's just bizarre. And then you've got the Tom Lynham incident where Regan Grace has gone through, scored that brilliant try, and then Tom Lynham, I don't know what's going through his head, but he literally, Regan Grace has put the ball down before Lynham's even thought about going over to hit him. And then he's obviously gone over and he's hit him on the floor. And that's one of the latest challenges I've seen for a while. And I mean, I'm not sure if that were a red card, but I think it's at least a 2 or 3 match ban if you compare it to some of the other bans that are dished out. And then he gets a 1 match ban. I mean, it's just bizarre. It's like they're just plucking random numbers out of the air for the punishments that are being dished out. So yeah, I think they are being lenient, but it's the lack of consistency that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I think there just needs to be, obviously we've got these penalty notices now, haven't we, that get dished out on a Monday by the match review panel, and I just think the whole system needs a bit of an overhaul, to be honest, to get a bit of consistency and to get the punishments people deserve, and obviously there are instances where it works the other way as well, where people are getting like 3 and 4 match bans for things where you look at and think, well, I don't think it was that bad, to be honest. So yeah, it's the consistency really that I think a lot of fans are frustrated with, and I think needs clearing up and looking at.
Do you think there's too much leniency, Sean?
I agree with you in terms of I feel like they've sort of got no idea what they're doing. Like the RFL don't seem to understand what they think a punishment should be. I think first and foremost, to address the point where you put it, obviously they put a lot of things on report. I think the thing is, and people will disagree with me, I think it shouldn't matter whether the video ref is there or not. I don't think the video ref should be able to look at disciplinary matters during the game, because then it's an advantage to the team whoever's on the TV the most gets the biggest advantage.
Do you not think then it wouldn't be as fair though?
I mean, that's assuming that the RFL come and do the job afterwards and ban the suitable players like they would in every other match. So, for example, games were out on TV, like the Wigan-Salford game from earlier in the season, where Wigan picked up suspensions fairly because they were suspensions, and that should always be the case, but allowing somebody to watch a replay over and over again during the game and then to benefit a team during that game when other teams have to just accept what's being given by the referee is a bit bizarre for me personally. I don't think that should happen. Saying that, like you said, there should be retrospective action, and the Willie Emmy one, I'm lost for words. That 1 match, at the time it was a red card, and there's no doubting it was a red card. I can't believe that people would even argue that. And 1 match for me is just nowhere near enough. He's come off the ground, he's made direct contact with the head, it's a shoulder charge. You've got 3 different forms that all deserve punishment, he's got 1 match for all 3. I think it's an absolutely bizarre decision. And I think there's sort of I won't say they've lost the bottle, but I think they've just sort of lost the plot. Like, they don't know what they want the game to look like anymore. They're trying so hard to replicate different things or take the game in different ways that they've sort of lost the idea of what they want the game to look like from minute 1 to minute 80. And because of that, we're sort of being like given these random sort of penalty notices, and I don't think it makes much sense. I don't think it's in favour of any one team, but I think you can look at the Wigan Wakefield game, and as Chris Chester came out and said, he wasn't happy with the way that Wigan defended. He thought there was some dirty tactics, but I was trying not to use the word dirty, but that's what the words he used. And it's happened before at Wigan. Sam Powell's got a 2-match ban, and he's been banned for the same thing on multiple occasions. And if you're a serial offender in that case, and if you're the RFL and you want the game to look a certain way, then you've got to look for a way of stamping that out. Because if the same players are doing the same thing over and over again, you're clearly not stamping it out in the right manner. I'm honestly, and I'll say it as a fan and as a journalist, I don't understand what the rules are in many circumstances, because they seem to change all the time, and that's a problem for both the fan base and the sport in general.
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts. Do you think the referees and the disciplinary panel are being lenient? Comment below and let us know.
Watch every game of the NRL, plus the grand final and state of origin, from anywhere outside Australia, New Zealand or the Pacific Islands. Go to watchnrl.com and take the footy with you.